My name is Kerstin von Aretin, and currently I lead the RISE Cities program for the BMW Foundation. And RISE stands for Resilient, Intelligent, Sustainable and Equitable. And I'll go deeper to this combination to create a livable city in a minute. I have a background in industry, public sector, NGOs and consulting, and I have performed leadership functions there. And what I've learned from this is how important it is to communicate and to work across sectors. And this brought me to the BMW Foundation, where the cross-sectoral and diverse approach is our focus and where we seek to shift the leadership paradigm. Here we highlight the values of responsible leadership and believe that any place can have many leaders. We want to strengthen that idea and mindset of becoming and being a responsible leader. A better future for humans on the planet requires a collaborative approach to leadership. And it needs to start in the places where we live, cities. And we need a shared purpose and innovative action from all stakeholders, including committed citizens who we also see as leaders. If we get our cities right, they can contribute to mitigate our biggest problems, as by 2050 between 70 and 80% of people will live there. Responsible leadership needs values, and the framework we employ to ensure that everyone is pulling in the same direction is the UN 2030 agenda. By empowering more responsible leaders, it will unlock the transformative power of cities and accelerate the sustainable transformation into a RISE city. The BMW Foundation has launched the RISE Cities program to advance responsible leadership in cities and global knowledge of what resilient, intelligent, sustainable and equitable cities are. With RISE, we identify urban challenges and encourage mutual cross-sectoral learning so as to develop innovative and brave solutions in local ecosystems. Crucially, the future of cities depends on creative bureaucrats, and this is why we support this festival. We have identified 5 topic areas where positive visions of urban transformation are necessary. And you can easily identify the role of creative bureaucrats as you need them. First, to help plan space and place, including promoting urban-rural connections through good city design, as well as to focus in sustainable economic development. Second, there's culture and governance. And by this we mean a city culture that influences the city's governance, for example, by strong digital participation, and vice versa. Of course, a city's governance influences a city culture. And third, there is mobility and public services, getting universal access to energy, water, health, education and transportation, and it requires lots of innovation. Fourth, the built environment and public spaces, creating just, inclusive and sustainable living conditions. And finally, of course, you need creative bureaucrats for environmental, health and climate action, addressing environmental risks, eliminating greenhouse gases and strengthening climate resilience. And as you can easily see, apart from creative bureaucrats, we need definitely leaders beyond the public sector, and they are vital for urban transformation. And this is here we see our role as a charitable foundation. We believe being an interested outsider, kind of outsider, can sometimes help to bring the varied urban partners together, and we can be seen as a neutral but committed party. So we work for the RISE program with two approaches. First, to gather knowledge about future trends and visions, knowledge that reflects and defines our worldview and helps us move forward, kind of normative knowledge. And that is our RISE narrative, as well as the indicators to measure progress we are developing related to our Future Visions 2015 living document. And second, to create a network of city stakeholders and to inspire more people to identify themselves as responsible leaders so as to catalyze sustainable urban transformation. And we have developed an iterative process between these two approaches. We are organizing and holding provocative and inspiring discussions in order to build up our knowledge base and then feed that back into our Living Future Visions 2050 document. And this is the basis then again for the next discussions and events. And the aim is to make the RISE city narrative a new common sense. And indeed, the creative bureaucracy is one element of this new narrative. All of this in turn helps our evolving RISE leadership program across cities and regions. Within this, we think personal relationships are crucial in building trust and alliances. And we think everyone can make a change and help create RISE cities. Anyone become a leader, and in their professional role, they have a lever for change in their hands to influence their company, their city, their neighborhood, their street. So with the RISE Cities program, we want to reach city leaders from all fields and to increase their awareness, encourage and help build their values, and to encourage them to act accordingly. And with RISE, we want to contribute to innovation and citizen-centered solutions and to strengthen community of purpose in order to scale positive transformation. And this is why we need to connect the network of responsible leaders, and this personal level is so important to cross borders and to break silos within various city fields. An example of this is our RISE fellowships. Here we are setting up tandems, kind of pairs, between the public administration and businesses or civic organizations to address a common challenge to actually put something, namely a concrete project, on the ground. 2022 there will be tandems from 12 European cities where one public entrepreneur works with a stakeholder from another sector. And these tandems will be chosen by July, and if you have suggestions, we would welcome this. The issues we would like tandems to address relate to our Future Cities 2050 visions, and within each of the 5 pillars of that vision, there's a great innovative potential. And we would like our tandems as a whole to address these and to be change makers. Here are some examples. There are new spatial planning models. Think here of the 15-minute city or the super blocks. Here in Munich, we initiated an experiment with the city and various stakeholders. It brought people and organizations together who normally did not connect. Another example is our wish to foster new economic models, such as the idea of the regenerative economy based on circular economy thinking. We have rethought mobility as a driver for human development. Mobility has to serve a purpose. It is about access, opportunity, participation, and connectivity for all and for all abilities. It allows people to take part and advance their life in all senses, regardless of background and preferences. It offers people choices and provides them with agency and the ability to act without being curtailed by constraints. Governance is another example. We want to encourage using digital possibilities so that people can participate better in decision making. And a final example, how do you create public spaces that are inclusive and for all? So to make all of this happen requires, in our view, two things. First, we believe bringing the collective intelligence of different partners together is fruitful. New ideas and new ways of doing things then come to the fore. And second, it often requires the public administration to rethink its rules, regulations, and incentives. And I hope you can all see how this relates to RISE, helping places become more resilient, to use intelligence and data in a human-centered way, clearly to focus on sustainability, but also to be equitable. And we see clearly the tension between our four metrics, the R, the I, the S, the E, and to keep them in a balance mainly between the three RIS and then the E. One challenge is to meet the requirements of the unheard voices, the vulnerable groups. So it is not about striving to be a smart city or a sustainable city or a healthy city. We need to see everything together and be aware of the interdependencies and the different diverse perspectives. So let's find out together as responsible leaders, but also in empowering people to give of their best.